Etejah News Channel. The truth fears no questions.
Hello and welcome to Eco-Terrorism. I'm Zeinab Bailoun. Words like eco-friendly are becoming increasingly popular. There are organizations today that work on promoting a sustainable and eco-friendly environment through ecotourism and development projects. Joining us today in the studio is Mr. Chaker, co-founder of the NGO Baldati, which does such work. Thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you.
So before we continue with our discussion, let's take a quick look at this report.
Eco-tourism, rural development projects, and sustainable solutions have become indispensable nowadays amid the abuse of environment and the excessive decrease of nature conservatives as well. In recent years, notions like go green and eco-friendly have become buzzwords on talk shows, commercials, and product packaging. The term eco-friendly has been used for so many different products and practices. However, how can someone act eco-friendly, and how can individuals go green? Many organizations in the Middle East appointed themselves to improve and sometimes recover the environmental status, each in its own country. In this regard, Baldati, a Lebanese non-sectarian and non-governmental organization, aims to create a sustainable work environment and ambience that encourages enthusiasm, innovation, and leadership within people they work with. Therefore, the work of such organizations permeates eco-friendly culture through the work of engaging individuals in activities that have sustainable environmental impacts. Accordingly, ecotourism is far more than a mere trendy vacation concept. It is a vital part of keeping the planet safe because of what it provides for the impetus of awareness that educates the public on the importance of environmental issues and explains the consequences before they occur. And because of the fact that from the awareness that it creates comes a movement for conservation. Without awareness, there will be no way to mount an effective conservation movement. For those reasons, supporting the ecotourism movement is not just a leisure activity. It is a vital part of the safety of our society and the natural world.
So, Mr. Noon, can you please tell us more about Baldati and what exactly do you do?
You know, as we all know, that Baldati means my village. And it started as a belonging campaign to invite people to go and register on their communities. And while villages almost they became empty and people are leaving to other cities or maybe to foreign countries. So we're inviting people to indirectly stay connected to their communities. We created 1,468 Lebanese village, plus the 192 diaspora country. And this is how on Baldati, by one click, you can join your village and participate at least to the news of the village, maybe later on to the projects of the village, to perform maybe some events, some activities, to animate your social life in these communities. This is why we created Baldati and Baldati.com, which is the portal that holds all these tools.
So how do you do this exactly? How do you keep these communities, these villages alive through Baldati?
This is it. To keep it alive, we're talking about a technology on 2002, much before Facebook or also those social networks. So people were a little bit resisting to those kind of solutions. They understand that villages are something tangible, that you can visit, that you can... So we combined both that, okay, you connect to your village on Baldati.com, but Baldati.com will promote your village, and one day it will do an event in this village, and they will invite you to this village to do a simple hiking trip. That's why we used the ecotourism as a way to bring people, attract people as an incentive to come back to their villages. And this is how since 2002 we organize every weekend a hiking trip in a different Lebanese village. And even we went abroad, so we were in Turkey, in Syria, in Jordan, and Egypt, and all over in Algeria. And this is how we believe that by creating this regional connectivity, people will stay connected all the time, maybe by the mobile phone or by their computers. But there is some incentive to decentralize our concentration in those cities and reduce pollution and traffic and all these problems.
How have you seen this grow over time? Do you feel that people have been responsive to this? For example, are there more and more people going on these hiking trips every week?
Yes, mainly we worked on different strategies. So we work a lot with media, and this is how we have a bigger outreach with people. And then we create those events in those villages as a beginning, and then those events can be developed more to be rural development projects. Mainly we go around the social responsibility. So as a citizen, are you interested to promote your village, to develop your village? So go on. Let's start by hiking in your village to discover your village, and then we can write on projects according to the needs of this village. And this is how we implemented more than 50 different projects in all sectors, in media, in ecotourism, and transportation. And our latest event with the bikeathon, it was about town Darija, which is considering the bicycle as a realistic transportation tool, green, clean, and affordable to all people.
And so what exactly does a typical month for Baldati look like? Like, say you have these weekly hiking trips and you have other projects. What are you typically working on in a typical month?
Usually all the day we're connecting. So like I did before, so I asked you, where are you from? Are you interested in your village? Did you live in your village? Then go and register on your village on Baldati, then put some content. It's an open source, and everybody from this village can put some content. And this content on the village it can be shown on the Kaza, on the Muhafaza, and on the country. So people are now connected, and they have a regional media tool that can spread the news from any village and share knowledge between the villages. Then we go to the step further, organize with you a special program in your village. So we discuss this program. What is the focal point in your village? What is the most important things that you want to talk about in your village? Let me know about your history, about anything that could be important to promote this product, which is the village. So step 2, to organize an event in your village. Then step 3, when we know very well this village and we have some history with this village, so we start to know their needs, and we start to write some proposals to donors or projects or municipalities, whatever, according to fulfill this needs. Maybe this village is in need of schools, maybe education, workshops, capacity building, whatever. So we go further to write on. So this is our agenda of the week, and we ended every time on Sunday to visit a new village, to discover a new village and discuss a new project.
And where do you typically start work with villages? Do you start with municipalities, for example?
Usually this is the best way to start, but it's not the only way to start, because sometimes municipalities are not active, they are not well connected, or they don't know, or not interested to these kinds of activities. So we don't have this monopoly. So we try to deal with the best person that can be our coordinator in this village. Usually they are municipalities, maybe they are the sports club, maybe, or any NGO, local NGO, or any simple person, a student in a university that is active and can fulfill this coordination job.
So how do you collaborate with other NGOs to make sure that this happens, say, in Lebanon or in the Middle East in general?
You know, because we know the ground and we know the sensitivity of our communities, so we try to balance our connection with all parties in this community. And usually we have good relationship with local NGOs and with national NGOs. For example, for the bikeathon, we were collaborating with Ofrujwa, Farah Lata, and Kun Hadi for the road safety, and Wahdatna Khalasna, which is main objective is about peace and peace sharing. So this kind of collaboration, it depends on the event and the objective of this sister NGO or partner NGO, if it is really in the same field with Baldati and the objective of the event.
What about the rest of the Middle East? You've done work previously with, you know, in terms of Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan, working on collaborative projects.
Yes, because Baldati is an Arabic term that can be understood by any Arabic country. So that's why we try to spread the idea of the belonging issue to every country, to every Arab country. So we were in Syria with a workshop with the University of Damascus. We were in Jordan for a long-term project. It was between Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon about ecotourism. We were in Algeria, in Dubai, and really I believe that maybe in Lebanon we have a different understanding of the belonging. So we have this village belonging or community belonging. So it differs. We learned a lot from this experience, and we're trying to push more. Now in Jordan we have an NGO that is working on a kind of collaboration to hold baldati.com/Jordan. So this is our strategy to spread out of Lebanon and stay connected.
How would you say that the regional ecotourism, the state of regional ecotourism is in terms of the Middle East, in terms of, for example, you know, Jordan, Syria, other countries as well in the Middle East? Are they doing as well as other places, or are we still at in the beginning? You
know, ecotourism is directly related to the situation, to the political situation, to the and now the Middle East is, in this case, is not the best way to spread ecotourism. 5 or 6 years ago, we did a lot of trips to Syria, to Turkey, to Ihlara Valley, to Cappadocia, and we tried to shift from the classical tourism to the ecotourism. So we started the trips to Syria and Turkey with the aim of doing hiking in those regions and collaborating with local NGOs. So we were in Kasab. They have a national reserve in Kasab in Syria. But now we're waiting a little bit for a better situation to continue what we have already started.
And if you wanted to define ecotourism, would you say it is only in terms of, okay, organizing hiking trips, things like that? But is there something else that you would call ecotourism?
I liked a lot the title of the program because sometimes, because we don't know a lot about ecotourism, we turn it to eco-terrorism. So when you see that it's all about doing picnic or I don't know, this kind of tourism that we pretend that it is ecological. No, we have those ethical issues that we maintain on the website. On every event, we highlight on these terms and conditions of the hikers. So no smoking is allowed, how to respect the trails, not to go out of the trails, how to conserve this nature we are visiting, and all these ethics we highlight a lot on it. And I can see that the majority of the Lebanese are open to such regulations. That's why I'm very positive about the future of ecotourism in Lebanon. We have the nice nature, we have the capital, we have people who are well educated, you know, that they have a lot of knowledge about this, and I think that we have a great future sometime.
Thank you very much, Mr. Noon. We'll be going off for a short break, but we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Around the world, outside the mainstream, anywhere, everywhere. A media of your land, of your creation. A new media in a new era. Will it take the lead in the future? I believe so. This is Underground.
Underground, when vague turns to clarity.
Joining us by phone is Ms. Dina Hajjar, a civil engineer and participant in Baldati as well as ecotourism events. Before we continue with Ms. Hajjar, we'll be going to take a quick look at a video first.
Ecotourism.
Ecotourism
Ecotourism is responsible.
is responsible
Ecotourism is responsible travel to natural areas in a way that conserves the environment,
conserve the environment,
improves the well-being
and improves the well-being
of local people.
of local people.
Local people. Ecotourism is more than just a vacation. It's finding that moment when everything just clicks.
Welcome back. Joining us by phone today is Ms. Dina Hajjar, a civil engineer and participant in Baldati as well as other ecotourism events. Ms. Hajjar, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for calling me.
So can you start by defining for us ecotourism? How has been your experience with ecotourism?
Yes, at first, as a summary, I can say it's an inexpensive way to enjoy and to enjoy nature and to enjoy a sport, like if we are talking as a sports way. But I can say that I have discovered my own country, different aspects of my country that I don't even know. New areas that are not accessible by car or any other way besides food. On the other hand, it's a great way to avoid the city, to get away from the city and the noise and the stressful days at work, etc. And it always helps me to get back on Monday much more fresh and ready to start a new week ahead of me. On the other side, on the personal level, I like to take photos, and it's a great opportunity to take photos during the ecotourism hike, and also it allows to socialize with the other hikers and the local communities, in which you can discover the historical and cultural facts of each city or village in which you are going on each Sunday. So we got the chance, for example, to see the oldest tree, the oldest olive tree, the oldest church in the Middle East, etc. So also on the fauna and flora side as well, I remember we have seen many new animals or even insects that I've never seen in my whole life. Mm-hmm. So this is, in general, basically what ecotourism is for me on the personal side.
Mm-hmm. So how would you say that ecotourism shapes people's mentalities? Do you think it has had an effect on the way people view the environment in Lebanon, the way they treat the environment?
Yes, of course. When you get in touch with the nature, it's kind of you build a relationship with the nature. So you start to appreciate more nature. You start to, less pollute, less, I don't know, throw things in the roads, etc. So it's a lifestyle. It's a new lifestyle that you learn.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hajjar. We'll be going back to our guest in the studio, Mr. Noon. Can you comment on what Ms. Hajjar was saying previously on what you think in terms of changing people's lifestyles, people's views on the environment through using ecotourism?
She said something about socializing, and one of our slogans was discovering people and places. So
they come together.
It's not only about places, it is about people and places. And by the way, Dina is very sensitive to those themes, and you can see it in her photographies. So she has great shots, and really it reflects what we are seeking for in those areas. Is it only to do sports or to do fitness or to do, this is the only issue that we have it in our mind, or we have another option to spend our holidays or our vacations in Lebanon? This is the other option, to go and meet people and meet places and hear a little bit, not just all the way talk about our issues. So let's hear about the issues of others, and this is what we do indirectly in those trips. So in one day you are in a wonderful group, in a wonderful scenery with great people. They are welcoming you. You are discovering a new culture in this region. And by the way, worldwide, there is more people interested in this kind of tourism. It's not all the time the traditional tourism of spending money on anything, eating all the time, and this is it. No, you are mixing everything in one day, and this is the kind of great experience that you will have to continue your week with more powerful, more energy. This is it. So Dina explained it very well.
So it's not just about, promoting the environment or the way that you treat the environment. It's also about building communities that can learn to see the environment in this way just by interacting with each other.
It is. In management, we say it leading by example. So it's not just a lecture that you bring people and you read a book and this is it. No, it is leading by example. So you go there and you show how it can be a typical day, and then people will start to imitate you and your family, your children, whatever. So usually our group is formed of all ages, all categories, and this is it. Our social life is not restricted to a certain age, or so. We're meeting everybody. So maybe elderly people will tell you a little bit of nice stories from the village. They are proud of something, so you listen to it. Then maybe children are moving all around and playing, and this is a wonderful thing to see people happy in a wonderful background, which is nature.
Do you think enough awareness has been raised about this issue?
Slowly, by defining your objectives, because Baldati was very clear about its objective. So people coming to this kind of events, they know, they read the program, they know very well what the expectation. So we're in a way filtering those people that are really interested. I believe that maybe in our program you don't have always 100% of people that are interested in your issues. So that's why we try to be clear and to attract those people who are really seeking for such kind of activities.
Thank you very much, Mr. Noon, for joining us today.
Thank you.
You can support, join, and be part of Baldati by going to their website, www.baldati.com. So thanks to Mr. Noon for joining us in the studio, and Ms. Hajjar for joining us by phone. That's it for today. This was Eco-Terrorism, and I'm Zeinab Bailoun. See you next week.